Zekrom glances over, still not making full eye contact, and he says, "So they told you?"
Of course they told me. Where is my family?
Now, Flanagan's eyes seem to be kind of watering up as he's looking over to Zekrom. Zekrom turns fully and looks at O'Flanagan, and he says, "They're in the Dales Mountains. One of my scouts spotted them a few months back. They seem to be, in the most part, in healthy hands. They seem to be flourishing. They're quiet, to themselves, and secluded. I told you, party mates, because I figured it'd be best coming from them rather than me, because I understand why you don't trust me. But O'Flanagan, there's something you need to know." And O'Flanagan kind of just seems to still be imbued with anger. And Zekrom says, "You were lied to about the genocide of the Arakocra. Orcus did not wipe them out. They were, shortly after the Orensal Civil War, King Kaz sent out his legions to wipe them out, to set up a storyline that fitted for his fables."
That's impossible. What do you... You're pathetic, you know that?
You can think what you want. I'm telling you the truth. They were wiped out by the royal army for what they did to the dragons.
What are you talking about, the dragons?
The Aarakocra, I'm guessing many years before you were born, were hunting the dragons to extinction. We never really knew why, but it did cause turmoil and a rift between the Dragonborn and the Aarakocra races. And that's kind of where this whole segregation of the races throughout the realm began. It began with my kind and your kind. And King Kaz saw that as a perfect opportunity and a story rewritten to write it as my kind destroying your kind. But the Dragonborn are preserving the realm, not killing it.
Are you implying that my race is somehow trying to kill it?
No. You brought us the dragon egg, and if you had any thought that you were still trying to owe what your ancestors did, you would not have allowed your allies to bring the egg here. So, it is what it is.
Let's say I believe you and I head over to those mountains. And they're not there. Do you know what I'm going to do next?
Something along the lines of attacking us.
I'd say you're right on the gold with that one, Zekrom.
O'Flanagan turns around and he walks right past you guys, and he walks out the door and slams it behind him.
That went better than I expected, to be honest.
We go after him in case he runs into the mountains without us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Zekrom, we're going to think on your proposal. Thank you. And Corwin will go after O'Flanagan.
As Corwin walks out of the house, as Zekrom speaks out, "Demonia, Corwin." It's like, "Demonia, or we. How long are you going to wait to give us an answer? Developments are in play, and we need to know."
And I absolutely understand that. I think I'm gonna just tell you right now to probably not expect us to agree. I think we all have a lot of personal things and personal battles that we still need to fight and things we need to learn about ourselves. I mean, as you can tell, just from what you saw, O'Flanagan has a lot of unanswered questions. And I think we all have something to that extent for ourselves. And we aren't quite ready to give up the freedom of finding that out yet. But we in no way want to diminish any sort of relationship we've created here. We want your allyship. We want to be as helpful to you guys as we can, and we do want to protect the realm through our ventures.
You see Zekrom fully faces you, finally. Kind of turns his head a little bit, and he says, "Oh, no, you misunderstand. This is not a 24/7 deal. We have many clansmen who haven't been on active duty in a year or two. This is more of a, when the time calls, we send a raven. And when you skip that raven, you put everything aside and you come to our aid. But if that's still something you cannot commit to."
I don't want to make a promise that we potentially cannot keep, because that's not fair to you or your village.
Okay.
We can discuss that with our party mates, though.
It seems like a decision has been made. I respect the honesty. And if you guys need us, you know where to find us. You can tell Zekrom looks a little bit disappointed, and now he's like kind of just staring down at his desk, kind of clenching his hands a little bit, almost in nervousness.
Is there a way we can still be here for you, and you can still send a raven if you need us, but maybe not hold it against us if we're not able to show?
You see, as you say that, you can, to the corner of your eye, you see Micah shaking his head. And Zekrom speaks. "No, unfortunately, there's many trying to worm their way into our organization and using allies that we have for intel. Part of this commitment is a branding to show our enemies that they are aligned with us. But if you are not officially aligned with us, we have to take our precautions that you aren't swaying into enemy hands. So, again, we understand. If you cannot make the commitment, we're not going to hold it against you. We still consider you an ally. As far as our confidential endeavors go, we cannot give that information to you henceforward."
I'm gonna look at Orbweave and be like, maybe we should rediscuss this with the group if it's not so all encumbering.
Yeah, we can try.
Once we deal with O'Flanagan.
Yeah.
And his understandable anger.
As you turn your backs, which I assume you're getting ready to leave the house, you do hear a voice kind of chimes in. "I suppose you haven't heard of the name Vecna, have you?" As Micah speaks out under his breath.
Why do
When
you speak
you
about
discuss
Vecna?
this with your allies, consider that name. He is at large. And he says this all while closing his eyes and still leaning back against the wall.
At large and in charge. I'm gonna say to Tanya, what the fuck? That
Hello?
we need to go. We should go talk to them again about it. I think it may be, at least in our best interest, to know what's going on with the cult of Vecna, or whoever's trying to chase us. If they're trying to get to them, they're probably still trying to get to us. And it might
Listen.
be good to have some intel.
Zekrom chimes in after hearing that. He says, listen. As far as we know, there's only 2 reasons, maybe 3, why the cult of Vecna was after you. Primarily the egg, for sure. But if you want out, you need to find yourselves first. And if you want out of this, be out of this. I must warn you, everything that transpires after this day transpires with or without you. Preferably with you. But we respect any decision you come to.
I respect
Think on
you
it
for that.
carefully.
We will. Thank you for your continuous generosity and understanding of our situation. We will let you be to your duties and possibly talk to you more tonight or tomorrow.
Okay. You guys exit the house?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. As you exit the house and you close the doors, you don't necessarily hear this, but you hear Micah, not really you hear it, but Micah speaks to Zekrom and he says, I could definitely smell it. One of the reasons why you came here? Yes, it was coming from one of them. I'm curious if they know. You guys head over to Corwin and O'Flanagan. And you see O'Flanagan kind of just trotting through the village.
Hey,
So we spoke more with
fellow
Zekrom.
Bobs.
Fellow Bobs.
Other Bobs?
Other Bobs?
Zekrom told us that if we were to enter into this, we would be on an on-call basis. So we would be able to pursue some of what we'd intended to, but we would be at their beck and call. He also did tell us...
and we would get branded.
So, like cattle.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we're on
Not the
call.
first time.
You've been branded.
See O'Flanagan stops in his tracks and looks back to you guys and he says,
I'm not getting branded by a damn dragonborn.
I'll brand you. I'll do it.
You're not branding me either.
Well, I'll let you brand me.
I'm not going to wear the dragonborn brand on my arm, my chest, my face, wherever they prefer to have it. This is still a dragonborn organization.
you can see as he's kind of going into a temper tantrum, other Dragonborn are kind of stopping and noticing. The ones who weren't gravely injured in the battle. And they look at him and they kind of quickly keep walking. As he is drawing a little bit of attention.
How can this even be considered? We don't even know. His claims are wild.
Yeah, that's true.
Is this not astounding to any of you?
Do you know how much I've learned about this realm just in the span of when I met you guys until now? I don't even know what to believe. I have heard different stories from different people, including you guys. It sounds like from what I've gathered from what everyone has said and all this new information that I've learned over this time is that you gotta see it to believe it, and if you want to know if it's real, you gotta find out for yourself.
And that this realm is built on the throne of lies.
Yes. So the things you learned could have been a lie. The things that Grom's saying could have been a lie. It all could be lies. But we won't know unless we find out ourselves.
You're right. You're
That
right.
was very astute and wise of you. Well said.
Thank you. Orb is getting better with her words.
The
She's
Flanagan
gonna
calms
say
down
that
a little bit.
specifically in third person, just like that.
See, Flanagan calms down a little bit, and he stops in his tracks and turns to face you guys, and kind of waits for you guys to continue the discussion as he is at a loss for words.
Alright,
And
So-
when it comes to this whole oath thing, you know, it sounds like we're still gonna have our freedom, we're still gonna have our independence if we take it. And from what it sounds like, if there's any of us that choose not to take it, I don't think it will be held against anybody. So Flanagan,
It would
if you're
still
not
be-
comfortable taking that oath, then I don't think you should. If it's not something that you want to commit to, and you're not comfortable with, then you shouldn't do it. And Demonia, if you feel like it gives you purpose, it gives you something to fall back on, something to feel secure in your life with, then I think you should do it.
I think I'm at a stage in my life where I need to carry as many allies as I can. But I want to be with my party mates.
I don't think if some of us take that oath and others don't, it's not going to do anything to our partnership.
And see, Flanagan chuckles a little bit. He looks up to all of you, and he speaks out after a few moments of not speaking at all.
You know what? I'll join his little organization. And if it is a sham, if he does have any intentions of stabbing me in the back, I will burn it to the fucking ground and watch it ash
Reasonable.
away into extinction. And then I will move on to his whole race, if they so even think about betraying me. I stand for protection and the betterment of the realm, but that's not what they stand for, and this whole thing is a lie. As I suspect it is. I will burn it all to the ground. Yeah. That's what I'll do.
I think that's a reasonable.
question is, just thinking about, is there a way to get a branding without the actual fire? Just a thought.
Cold branding exists.
What's cold branding?
Technically,
So
a cold
cold it
branding
burns.
is... Sorry, go ahead.
So with ice.
It still burns.
I would say it probably hurts just the same, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As long as it's not fire. I've been burnt enough, I think.
I think
Me
that's
too.
fair.
But yeah, actually, what'd you think for your first time being burned alive? It's not fun, is it?
Well, the first few seconds, that kind of felt like a couple of hours where the flames kind of charred away at my flesh and I watched my hands melt away from my skeleton bones.
Right.
That part was interesting. And then everything kind of went black.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
It was very uncomfortable those first few seconds.
if I ever find out who that Dragonborn was, I'm going to flay his skin from his body.
And then burn him. Slowly.
No, I need to be better than that. I'll just kill him
Okay.
quick. Make it painless.
Drown him. Oh, I thought you wanted to do the opposite of burning.
No. If Zekrom is right, and my kind did hunt dragon to extinction for some reason, I need to be the polarizing factor and be a protector, not a slayer. Even if it's my enemies. I show them mercy unless they don't give me an option.
If there's a reason you can continue a positive legacy for your kind, then you should.
The Flanagan kind of looks off into the sky, seems to trail off in thought again.
Do you guys want to go to bed?
Well, I don't
Or
know how
we
long
just
it's been
saying
since
that?
we slept.
I don't
It might
think
be
it
beneficial
matters.
to
I'm
us.
really tired.
I think didn't we just get up like a couple hours ago? We had a fight, yeah. But
Yeah, and then I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty tired after that fight. Not a level 3 exhaustion. I think Orbweave is, and I think Natanya is too, to be real with you.
You don't necessarily have to sleep if you want to get a full rest. I mean, technically you do, but in this circumstance, you're in a village where you're comfortable. And you just woke up from the slumber, so I would allow you to just, like, hang around, eat some food. As long as you're not extensively working your body,
Okay.
I will allow it to qualify as a long rest.
Okay.
Okay.
You just can't cast magic, you can't do any kind of workout, aerobic type thing.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You can talk, walk, don't run, and you'll be fine. I'll allow it.
so do we need to go tell Zekrom that Bob is with him?
I think we should.
But Bob is with him.
Bob is out of yes.
You have
Bob
the sword
is
of
with
Bob.
us.
Ally!
We should sign everything as Bob. Really throw people off, like, who is this Bob? They'll think it's one person this entire time, but then there's 4 individuals.
Should it be Bob or B.O.B. like the rapper?
What?
I was thinking be like the System of a Down song.
Okay.
Like, brrr, you know. It's our intro song.
Yes.
It's fucking, that's what I want. I want that energy.
I wish I could play on stream, but I can't.
You so can't. That song is...
I can't.
No.
I love that song though.
Flagged.
Yeah, I don't even have the audio software that can do it right now. So, yeah.
Everyone just imagine in their heads how cool that would be, and just let that one.
Into the fire.
Sit with it for a second.
Okay, so you guys head back to Zekrom?
Yeah.
Yes.
You walk back to the doors and you open them, and you can still see Zekrom is this time leaning against the fire. He has his hand against his forehead, rubbing his forehead. Micah seems to be in slumber. You all walk in. Flanagan trails afterward, and Zekrom speaks without looking, and he says, "Who is it?"
Oh, Bob.
Okay, yeah. He turns around and he says, "Bob, what can I do for you?"
Bob is with you. Only
Yeah.
I want a cold branding. That is my stipulation.
You want a cold branding?
He's afraid of fire.
I don't do
That's
fire.
fine. That's fine. I'm sure Micah can have that arranged. So you're all prepared to take the oath of the dragon.
I'm prepared.
I am
Okay.
prepared.
All right, that's what you want.
I'm present.
You see Zekrom pulls out this metal rod from the fire after kind of wiggling it around on the logs. He pulls it, he blows on it, he looks at it, and he walks over to you guys, and you look upon this metal rod, and towards the end there's a sigil, and it has what seems to be a spiraling dragon with the wings flaring out in a circle around this dragon, kind of like certifying the branding. He looks to all of you, and he says, as he holds the rod in his hand, "The oath of the dragon is to take an oath to protect those who can't protect themselves, to be the strength for those who don't have none, to be the heart for those who lack one, to preserve the realm and protect it at all costs. Do each of you understand this oath and accept it as your sole livelihood?
I'm gonna raise my hand and say, I do.
Approach Orbweeb.
Aubrey approaches.
He takes the metal rod and he says, hold out your right shoulder. And please separate the clothing from your shoulder.
Okay.
He takes the rod and he gently pushes it onto your flesh. You can feel the rod, the sigil burning and burning away at your flesh, and you can smell it in your nose, and it just smells awful. After a few seconds of that, he pulls away, and you can see this a very red and scarring dragon sigil upon your shoulder. And he says, anybody who sees that will know that you are one of us, and you will have allies throughout the realm you can rely on.
Are there people I need to worry about not, like, I shouldn't show this to?
A good question.
I would keep it hidden unless you were asked.
Is there anyone that will ask that I should not show it to?
Not many
I'm afraid.
who aren't affiliated with us know we exist, but I'm sure there are some out there that I am not aware of who do.
Okay,
Be cautious and trust your gut with whoever asks.
sounds good.
I like how this came up after it happened.
I was
You're
like,
like,
hey,
so-
Ray.
It's already there.
You asked a little late.
I just need to know if I should hide it or not, or can I
Yeah.
show it off because it's
Yeah,
cool. It's my
for sure.
first tattoo. Give me a break. I'm really excited.
Yeah, just
I'm
keep it
gonna
hidden. And
walk up to
just trust your
Zekrom
gut.
and
Sorry?
sorry, I'm gonna walk up to Zekrom and ask him, can I choose placement?
Typically, we all have it on our shoulder. Where do you want it?
I wanted it on
I
my.
get it matching.
All right. I'll get it matching. For
Present
the
your
gals,
shoulder.
for Bob.
For
For
Bob.
Bob.
Alright. For Bob. Bob.
Present
Well,
your shoulder,
That's the
Demonia.
only way we can say it. Is in that
Alright, I'll
accent.
pull down the cloak that I have on and present my shoulder.
You present your shoulder, and he rests the he relights it in the fireplace and comes back over, and he presses it firmly against your shoulder, and it burns into your flesh, and you get a wince of pain. And he pulls away, and you can see the sigil is burned well onto your skin. He looks over to O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan looks at Zekrom, and you almost see O'Flanagan kind of smirks a little bit. And Zekrom kind of like turns his head, and he kind of just shakes his head and walks over to O'Flanagan. And then as he pushes the rod onto O'Flanagan's shoulder and burns away through the feathers onto his flesh, you guys can watch as O'Flanagan is staring daggers into Zekrom and doesn't even flinch at the pain that he's having upon his shoulder, and almost seems to be drunken on plans if things go awry. He pulls the rod away, looks to Corwin, and says, "You want a cold branding?"
But you are not touching me with that.
Okay. Cold branding it is. He walks over to Micah, and he dips the rod back in. Without saying a word, Micah opens his eyes, looks directly to Corwin like he's been listening the entire time, walks over to Corwin, holds out his hand, and you kind of watch this blue, icically sphere-like energy forming in his palm. And while he holds his holds his hand out, you see this sigil kind of manifests in his palm. And he raises it to you and he says, "Are you ready?"
Oh, yeah, what was it? I swear to protect those who can't protect themselves. Was that it?
Yeah, something like that. He holds his hand out to your shoulder,
Here.
and as his hand presses into your shoulder, you feel the pain kind of shock you for a moment, but it does feel like burning, but you don't feel heat, per se. As he pulls away, you have the same kind of burning scar as the rest do.
Hey, we all matching, that cute.
It's adorable.
Micah walks over and leans back against the wall, and as Zekrom is putting the rod back into the fireplace, he speaks out and says, "First things first, we gotta tell you how the enemy began and the origins of Vecna. And that is the end of this episode. My throat hurts.
You're doing great, bro.
Yeah, you're killing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Angry O'Flanagan, that'll do it. That'll get your throat real nice and raw.
Yeah, and Zach Crom's deep voice as well, and having them talk to each other, I was like, I'm in so much pain.
You're like, oh.
The entire time I was saying words, and I was like, ow, 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 ow. Literally the entire time.
Do it for the D&D.
Yeah, do it for the D&D.
That brings up this episode of Subspace. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you can see all of the videos that are upcoming. And also check out the Red Romeo YouTube channel. On there we have all the dynamic moments that have happened thus far in the campaign, the funny, the sad, and the bit overly dramatic. You can also watch it live on Twitch. The description for that is going to be down below. You can see it live happening. Love to have you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.